Welcome, Scorpio, to your career reading. So, this is a timeless reading, which means that whenever you come across this reading, that's when you were meant to hear these messages. I'm going to do a slightly different spread today. We're going to tap into a spread that helps raise self awareness. I find that a lot of people just kind of fall into professions or fall into jobs or careers because of various reasons, right? Could be our socialization, where we grew up, what people around us were doing when it came to school, when it came to picking, specializations in universities, and then finding ourselves in jobs. I think given everything that's happening in the world right now, and unfortunately, very sorry for all of you who are watching who find yourself in a difficult situation when it comes to your career. Maybe you've been let go from a job, maybe you're not making the kind of money that you need to make to provide for yourself, your family, to be able to have, a good amount of savings, or simply to be able to live in a path of purpose, live in a way that truly fulfills your life's sole purpose when it comes to your creative expression. And when I say creative expression, doesn't mean that you have to be in a creative job or a creative field. Simply means that the way your life force or your energy wants to come out. So take the messages as they resonate. We're going to start by asking the tarot a little bit about just giving us guidance on who we are at work. So how we've been showing up at work, but is that in line with who we truly are, or have we perhaps been a little bit conflicted when it comes to who we are truly at work and how we show up? So I'm going to start by pulling out two cards first, okay? First is for who are you truly when it comes to work, when it comes to your professional expression, or I guess who you're trying to be as well, like while you're being true to your inner calling. All of us have that little voice inside of ourselves, and we know that either like we can live up to that, or sometimes life doesn't allow us to really pay attention to that. But I'd like to say that if you truly wanted to make the life of your dreams a reality, we got to get honest with ourselves. We need to know what is it that we truly desire when it comes to work, but are we showing up in a way that's correlating with that, or are we showing up in a way that's actually antithesis to who we truly want to be at work? So let's see, Scorpio, overall work energy that surrounds you, and how are you showing up at work, okay? So we'll just start with these two cards, and we've got the Three of Wands at the bottom of this deck. So firstly, the overall work energy that surrounds you is the Three of Pentacles. So Scorpio, I see that you are somebody, or at least right now you're in this phase where you really want to work with like-minded people. Maybe you want to work with people that you enjoy a healthy camaraderie with, like a healthy, happy, safe kind of relationship with. So you are able to trust them, they are able to trust you. You're looking for that kind of collaborative spirit at work. The other thing could mean that you're at a stage in your life where you want to work with other people. You don't want to work by yourself. Maybe you have always been an individual contributor, and now you feel like you'd really like to expand your tribe, expand your network, and work with like-minded people. Or it could just mean, I'm also getting this intuitively, that you've hit that stage in your life where you'd like to have something of your own, and you want to perhaps work with people that you completely trust. This could be people that you've already worked with, this could be family members. But how you're showing up is the Ten of Wands. Yeah, so I think for a lot of Scorpios, I'm picking up that maybe you are not enjoying the company of people at work. You don't think you're working with people that are truly making you happy or rise to your ultimate potential at work. Maybe, I'm really sorry if some of you work in toxic environments, or you feel people don't mean well, or they don't have your bestest intention at heart. I'm getting that energy as well. And you're very burdened, and that's why you are showing up at work in a way that resonates with being very stressed, very burnt out. Maybe you're very tired. Maybe you don't have the right team around you, and what you're truly missing right now in life is people, culture, like, being in a place where you can completely be yourself, where you can say it like it is, but they'll respect you for your expertise, and not so much about, the BS that happens in workplaces or offices. It's not about what you wear to work, how often do you go to the office, all of that, BS that's going around in the world, but more about how you can truly collaborate with like-minded people to be able to, elevate your energy. And I think this is not available to access right now for you in your career, and that's why you're actually showing up as feeling quite burdened. And maybe Scorpio, I'm also getting this intuitive message that some of you maybe have support around you and you're not seeing it, and you're trying to do everything by yourself, which is making you very, very tired. So this is for a specific group of you watching. Maybe you do have the support that you need, but you're just not making use of it for some reason. Again, I think there could be some trust issues. I'm connecting with a lot of Scorpios right now that are looking to work in psychologically safe places where you can put your guard down, put all these burdens and put all these wands down and just focus on doing good work with like-minded people. And I think you've probably struggled doing that in the recent past. We did see the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck, which is about, anticipation, waiting for your ships to come in. Like, you're at this stage in your career where you feel you've put in all the hard work, you've done what you needed to do, maybe you wanted to prove a point to yourself, you wanted to prove a point to people around you. You've done that, you've been there, you've put in the effort, and now all you want is just to be appreciated, is to work in a place where you feel valued, where you feel you can contribute without apprehension of, is this going to be held against me? Should I have said that? Should I have not said that? Yeah, because there's some disappointment surrounding your career right now, Scorpio. So let's build on this, okay? I'm going to first look at what your past experiences have been. And, this is a deeper kind of a spread. So you might be better off applying these messages to a longer time horizon, a longer time frame. So when I say past experiences, this could literally mean the past few years, maybe a few decades, maybe your entire career up until this point, because this is that kind of reading that just helps us become more self-aware and understand why we're feeling so burdened and so out of it when it comes to work right now. Past experience for Scorpio. Yeah, see, I was getting this energy that, for you, it's really been like lying, cheating, deception. Maybe somebody's not been very honest with you when it comes to work, past experiences. Someone's told you one thing, but in practice, something else materialized. I think you're really just kind of done, Scorpio, with all of that. Like, you just have no time for people not being authentic at work. I think I'm really resonating with this energy right now that you don't want to front anymore when it comes to work. You just want to be yourself, and you want to work with people who value you for who you are and not for any fronts or anything, because that tires you, right? When you're fronting to be someone that you're not, and it's not your default personality or it's not your default way of working, of course, when you keep doing it over a number of years, it's going to exhaust the hell out of you, right? So I think that has caught up with you, Scorpio. And you're like, no, I'm just done. I'm done with people lying to me, promising me things that don't come through, or you lying to your own self. This is a major energy of self-sabotage, Scorpio. So perhaps some of you have been trying to sell this dream to yourself that, look, it pays the bills, the money is coming in, the money is great, the designation looks amazing, on paper my resume is great. Scorpio, I think you're suffering deep down because your soul is just not invested in this career. This is why I was called to tell you to think about a longer term horizon, because I don't think this is about your current job or your last job or it's just something. I think for a very long period of time, Scorpio, you have just not felt like you can either trust your workplace or trust the people that you work with, or I'm also getting this very strong message that you have been lying to yourself. Maybe you've tried to convince yourself that, okay, I can work in this field for the money because it pays really well, or I can continue to be in this job because it provides me that stability. but somewhere your soul is catching up with you. And I think that is a good thing, that your true purpose is trying to emerge. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Star card in this reading, or the Temperance card. I'm really getting that kind of energy. It's a very spiritually, kind of divinely ordained kind of spread, and there's a reason why I was called to do this kind of spread today. So given your past experiences with work, what are your expectations then from career in general, from like work or a job in general? Yeah, see, that's why you expect either to have conflict at the workplace or to always be in conflict with your chosen profession or your chosen job or your line of work. Because you've been so tired and so exhausted, lying to yourself about, oh, this works for me, when it doesn't. And that's why you have just come to this ideology, Scorpio, that all of work has to feel like this, where it's almost like you're going to war every day. And of course, it's 2023 and work should not feel like that, given all the advances we've made in the space of well-being, in the space of self-awareness, in the space of just having so many more opportunities than our ancestors ever had, in terms of how you can earn money, in terms of how you can monetize your passions and your interests. This is quite surprising. And I bet for a lot of you watching, this is hitting home. But it's also making you really sad, because you know that you are capable of so much more. Especially as a Scorpio, your intuitive sense is so well developed. It's so honed in that you know that you are worth so much more, or you can contribute in a bigger and broader and more impactful way in the world. And work should not feel like a conflict. It should not feel like you're going to like war every day. You know that somewhere, Scorpio, but it's either time to get real, or either unfortunately you've attracted very toxic work environments to yourself. And like in Buddhism, they say like you are your environment. I'm a strong believer in that. I know this sounds very harsh perhaps, but ultimately if we change our thoughts and we do the inner work, we start attracting healthier and better opportunities towards us. So you need to investigate this, and we'll get some clarifiers as well. But this is the reason why you feel that work will always lead to some conflict in your life, or you'll always be in conflict, because this path that you've been walking on, Scorpio, let me reiterate this, it is not your path. You've been walking somebody else's path, and that's why you feel so burdened, so weighed down. You're walking the path of socialization, of what your parents maybe expected of you, what your friends expected of you, what your siblings expected of you, what society, wherever you grew up in the world, expected of you to do. And it's hitting home now, where you're just like, maybe you're very influenced by what's happening in the world right now. Maybe it has personally impacted you, these layoffs, these sort of recessionary movements in the labor market. And it has made you go within and really question, why have you been putting up with this? Is this really what you deserve to give yourself? They say you live once. Is this truly what you want to give yourself? I don't think so, Scorpio. So let's look at what are the opportunities that exist in your environment. What surrounds you when it comes to potential in your work life? The Moon. Yeah, the Four of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. Interesting. So let's talk about these three cards. Okay, so typically I read them as overall influences or opportunities that you could work with, but quite specifically this card is for yourself, your energies. This is typically for others, and these are the events or situations around you. Now this is very interesting, because I think we saw the Four of Cups right at the beginning of this reading underneath the deck. You are just very blah, Scorpio, about work. That's the word that comes to mind every time I see this Four of Cups. It is one of my least favorite cards in the tarot deck, I have to be very, very honest, because it is just a blah energy. Like nothing is really motivating you, and you're just sitting there going through the motions of life, but deep down your soul is suffering. It's like when your soul is crying, but you are just shutting it down and saying, just stay put, like stay within your small little corner somewhere in your head and heart. Don't come out, because if you came out, this whole mirage that you've been building for your career is going to come crashing down. For a lot of Scorpios watching, it has already come crashing down. And that is why you have found this reading today, because you needed me to tell you your story. And this, by the way, guys, is very much my story as well. I will openly admit on this very public channel that this is completely my work story. Before I guess the next chapter of my life starts, and I feel like I'm at this inflection point. I'm like at the Six of Swords energy, right between ending out this chapter of always feeling burdened. Work is like going to war, lying to myself about what motivates me, what doesn't, and opening up a brand new chapter in my life, which feels a lot more at peace with who I truly am and how I want to show up at work. So let's talk about this. I think for you, Scorpio, what's happened is that you feel there is this common theme, okay, around these cards, that you're very, very intuitive, right, as a sign. And I think you are able to see through people's BS so quickly that you have come to associate that as the norm at work. That everyone's pretty much lying to you. Everyone's saying one thing but doing another. Or someone's out to get me at work. I kind of get this feeling. Or you have a lot of fears about, maybe this could be fears around money. And human beings are very, very complex. We're very layered. We pick up meanings. We pick up things from our childhood. We pick up things from our friends, from our family. Maybe some of you have struggled with your relationship with money. Maybe, you didn't have a lot of it growing up, and that just primed your brain and your heart to always go after the money. That could be somebody's story. For some others, they're just fears of trust. You've just been raised in a social setup where, you don't really trust your managers, or you're not supposed to really open up and be yourself completely at work, because that's what gets you into trouble. Or, work will always come and stab you one day, so what's the point? Actually, I think even for like entrepreneurs, I think maybe you've chosen a path that doesn't feel like it's your path. So take it as it resonates. You don't have to be in a job, or you could be in a family business. You could have your own business. You're at odds. Your soul is not aligned with this path, Scorpio. Like, I can just say that with a lot of confidence right now. This is the energy that I'm picking up right now. You're bored, you're out of it, you have fears, you're conflicted. Forget about being conflicted with other people. You are conflicted with your own self. And you need clarity. You need clarity to come in and bust out all these myths that you have about how work is supposed to be, or how it is, or how it's always going to be. I think this is a major mythbuster kind of moment for you, Scorpio, and I would use this energy to get clear and get real with myself. Like, are these just self-created fears, or are they actually, based on facts? And like, why do you worry about, let's say, XYZ? For some of you, the worry could be, maybe you've always attracted toxic people at work, and you're always worried that, oh God, someone's gonna come and stab me in the back. Maybe it's about money, that, oh, I'll be, passed up for a promotion, or I won't be able to get to that next level. These are our fears, but the moon is often a card of illusions. It doesn't mean that it actually exists, or you actually have these fears. They could be self-created fears, Scorpio. Because of, again, your past experiences of people around you. So Scorpio, the good thing here though is that you perhaps don't realize, but okay, there are two messages here. The first message is that there are actually people around you who can help you. And I was getting that message earlier here as well, that maybe you feel you have to go at this on your own, but actually there are people around you who can absolutely help you and help you get you re-navigated back to your destined path. For some others, I do think that unfortunately You've attracted situations in your life because, look, you can read as many books as you like on careers, you can watch YouTube videos of career coaches, spiritual gurus. The one common theme that everybody will tell you is that if you are lying to yourself and you're picking a path that is someone else's because you're caught up in this world of comparisons and social media, and oh, this person was holidaying over here, like I don't have enough money to go on a holiday. You've been getting influenced by the 3D world a lot, right? Then of course you're gonna feel like lost, confused, conflicted, as if you're lying to your own self, bored, devastated, burdened, because that's not your soul path, Scorpio, that's someone else's. The sooner you realize that and you start to address your fears, what's truly holding you back? Okay, if it's a fear of money, break it down. Like, do your math, do your calculations. How much money do you need on a monthly basis to keep up a certain level of your lifestyle? What are negotiables? What are expenses that you don't need? They're more like, over and above kind of expenses that you can hold off for now, because you're trying to do something a lot more powerful, which is walk in your own truth. Come up with a plan. If you are confused where to start, get to know other people who have walked this path before. Learn their story. Because Scorpio, I have a feeling that, I haven't even pulled out the outcome card and the result card. I have a feeling your outcome is going to be something positive and the result is going to be something positive. It might be a card that indicates a challenging energy, but I bet there is a positive outcome to it overall. So let's get into it. What is the likely outcome? Okay. And look, if you do the work, I think the outcome will be very, very positive. If you refuse to acknowledge some of these truths, of course, life is going to continue to feel like this when it comes to work. So we also have to do the work, Scorpio. Nothing's ever just handed down to us. You got to put in the effort. So what's the outcome? There you go. I told you there is going to be a positive outcome. This is your spiritual ascension, Scorpio. You are being called upon to rise, to wake up to your soul purpose. This is your soul contract. Now, I know there are a lot of different interpretations to the Hierophant card, but given this spread, and boom comes this major arcana, the Hierophant, it is literally asking you to look at your spiritual path. And if you remember, I said I wouldn't be surprised to see the Star card or something very destined, which is like the Hierophant also, because he is the spiritual teacher of the tarot. Now, and tarot is gender neutral. So when I say he, it's more like the energy is masculine. This is an energy that drives us to act, it encourages us to get into action. This is interesting. Look, if you do this work, Scorpio, and examine your fears, examine why you are disappointed or why you've been disappointed in your career so far, why you feel like maybe sometimes people are breadcrumbing you, everybody's at war with you at work, you can't trust anyone, you're burdened. When you examine all this, okay, I have a feeling your entire belief system about work is going to come crashing down. Because the Hierophant is all about long-term, long-held beliefs, but coming to a cross-examination of that for our life right now and asking, is this truly working for me? And why have I been holding on to it if it's making me feel so burdened, so tired, so removed and far off from my divine purpose? Why the hell am I doing it? You need to ask yourself that question, Scorpio. This is a complete re-examination of your belief system about work. Why did I choose this line of work? Why did I choose this company? Why did I choose this line of business? Why did I choose to work with the people that I am working with or have worked with in the past? This is a big energy, Scorpio. If used wisely, I think this can take you places. This can open up that Ace of Wands, which comes after the 10 of Wands, right? Because each suit in the tarot goes from Ace to the 10. When you get cracking with the Hierophant, when you start working with this energy, your Ace of Wands is going to show up. I can guarantee you this. And I'm speaking to myself very much here as I'm speaking to all of you. I know that when I will start to examine this belief system about jobs, money, prestige, titles, the monetary, the physical assets, like all of that, I'm gonna get re-steered back onto my soul purpose in this lifetime. I just know it for myself. I know it for you guys as well. And how is that gonna make us feel? Let's look at the result. How is that gonna make us feel? Okay, we were just talking about aces. There you go. Boom. That truth, that epiphany comes through. You're suddenly like, oh my God, I see it now. I see it very clearly, in fact, where I have been lying to myself, where I've put myself in these situations when I really don't need to. Scorpio, you are so abundant. You are one of those signs that you're so intuitive. You have razor sharp approach to people, to situations. You can cut through all the BS and just get to the truth in like a nanosecond. That is the power of a Scorpio. Use that. Once you start to examine your beliefs, Scorpio, I'm telling you, the victory wreath is yours. Clarity is yours. In comes the hand of the universe to also help you, because it wants to see you put in the effort. Once you start to examine these beliefs, the universe steps in and says, you know what? Yeah, here you go. This is your victory lap. The next chapter, the next era that you're opening up in your career, in your work, is just laced with victory, laced with abundance, laced with happiness, ending this annoying, irritating chapter. Like I'm telling you, just seeing these cards on the table is kind of pissing me off because they're so annoying. It's making me feel so constricted, so tied down, so removed from my inner source, my power. You have this divine power, Scorpio. You're lying to yourself if you think you don't have it. You know it. There is a voice deep down within your heart, within your mind, within your soul. You know it. It's been like, hey, Scorpio. Hey, Scorpio, remember we wanted to do this, Scorpio. Remember your heart actually wants this. It's that, oh my God, how many years has it been, Scorpio, since you've been ignoring this voice? Seriously. You don't need to tell me, you don't need to tell anyone. You know it. In your heart, you know it in your mind. For some of you, I can tell you, for me, this tapping on my soul has been happening for at least over 10 years. So I'm feeling this reading extremely deeply, like I am with you in this. Trust me on that. Like I'm looking at this Ace of Swords and I'm thinking, oh my God, yes, this is my story. Yes, I know I'll be extremely victorious. I mean, this is success, like, you know, where you see like supersonic success. I know that I'm capable of it. I know I'm worthy of it. I know it is here for me the minute I fix my beliefs about work, about scarcity, about abundance, about worthiness. The minute I start to believe and fix my faith, emotion with my desires, yeah, I can have it all. I just know it. And I bet you watching, all of you know this as well. Please let me know in the comment section. I bet so many Scorpios watching right now are going like 100%, 100% I resonate with this. So Scorpio, what's holding you back? Should we ask then, yeah? Let's ask the cards. What's holding us back then? Look, we have victory coming our way, provided we do this inner work. So what has held us back? Oof. Just when I said scarcity mentality, this is exactly that. Worried that, oh, I don't want to be poor ever again. Worried, maybe some of you had parents who didn't have a lot in terms of financial abundance and you were scarred by that in your childhood and you never want to go back there. Trust me, I get that. For some of you, it's this feeling of isolation. If it's not in the concrete sense of finances, it's just more like you feel, oh, I'll feel so lonely walking a path that not a lot of people have walked. Like, who's going to show me the way? What if I get lost? What happens? Fear, scarcity mentality has been holding us back. What else? Knight of Wands. Very sort of hasty decisions perhaps in the past. We took some quick snap decisions because the opportunity felt too good to be true, or somebody told us, oh my God, you'd be stupid to give up on this opportunity. Oh, this company is amazing. It'll look great on your resume. Things that were here just for short term, not for long term happiness. We gave in to short term pleasures, short term money making, short term thinking, not thinking that if I continue to walk my chosen path, a path that feels like I was born and put on this planet to do, this requires effort and more sustained effort long term, rather than a quick, sort of flash in the pan sort of idea that makes you a lot of money but leaves you feeling so burdened, so like distanced from your soul. What else? You could have also had, unfortunately, some bad influences of people around you that gave you bad advice. And Scorpio, I'm not calling out anybody here. I'm just saying, like, I've done this as well. But this is what is holding us back from this true path, this path that your soul chose as its contract in this lifetime. What else is holding us back? Oh my God, this Four of Cups. I just said this is one of my least favorite cards in the tarot deck, and it's really annoying me that it keeps showing up. Yup, we as the Scorpio collective, we've allowed ourselves to be sitting in this bored, blah energy for too long, Scorpio. It's been going on for too long. This cannot stay any longer in our life. We need to change the narrative on this. We need to start to get our heart and emotion and our soul and our passion back into our career. We just need to. We live once. Why would we put up with this goddamn Four of Cups? Oh my God. Okay, so I know for some of us, this Hierophant can be quite overwhelming. Like, what do you mean, examine your belief system about work? Where do I start? A good couple of questions that I think all the career coaches will tell you is that ask yourself if money, prestige, let's say you lived in a world where nobody cared what your LinkedIn profile looked like, what your titles looked like, what school you went to, like who bloody cares? Let's say you lived in a world like that. What would you be wanting to spend your time on? If fear was not a factor, if money was not a factor, what would you be spending your time on? I want you to answer that question for yourself tonight, today, tomorrow, this week. Get clear. And what's holding you back then? And I'm going to do that exercise as well. And honestly, I've been doing that exercise for many, many, many years, Scorpio. So I know that I have prolonged my state of discontentment with my career because I've been denying, the tappings of the soul. Like, hey Scorpio, I've been denying that. I've been denying myself this long-lasting, amazing victory. How weird is that, right? Why would I do that? How weird is that? Why would I not want this absolute abundance long-term, which actually is sustainable and not just here today, gone tomorrow, like this flippin' Knight of Wands? So what are some steps that Scorpio can take to bridge this gap, okay, and to start to examine this energy of the Hierophant? Let's get some guidance from the tarot, and then we're going to get into some oracle cards as well. What can we focus on? Okay, so I'll take these 3 cards, or 4. Knight of Wands. Focus on this energy of short-term versus long-term, Scorpio. I think there is a theme here. It can also mean, the Knight of Wands is also a very, energetic, passionate energy of doing something very innovative, doing something out of the box, like doing something that maybe you've got this grand idea, okay, and you've been thinking about starting a business or starting to pursue a certain line of work or an interest area of yours. I think it's time to examine that. This is like doing disruptive kind of work, or maybe some of you have a very good idea of continuing to do the work that you do today, but maybe you don't like the way it is done, or you don't like the tools that people use to get this work done. Trust me, listen to that, pay attention to any innovative ideas that you have. The World, Justice, and the Tower. Boom, boom, boom. This is such a Scorpio reading. The Tower is here. So for some of you who are familiar with the tarot, you know that the Tower comes when we've been ignoring the soul tappings. The universe has been sending us these little signs, these little murmurs that, hey Scorpio, I think this is not your path. Hey Scorpio, I think you're only doing this under peer pressure. Hey Scorpio, I think you're only doing this for the money, but it won't make you happy. You know, all those little instructions or guidelines we keep getting, the voice of our gut, the voice of our intuition, the voice of our higher source, we've been ignoring it, Scorpio. Let's get real. And boom, in comes the Tower. So the universe says, you know what, I've been kind of sending you all these signs, and you know that you've been rather bored and discontent and blah at work, but you haven't really done much about it because you've been denying yourself this truth. So you know what, in comes the Tower. So this is perhaps, you know, and I know this might be slightly controversial what I'm going to say, but some of you who have been impacted by layoffs, restructuring, you know, your job has completely changed and you're not enjoying it anymore. You signed on the dotted line thinking you were getting into X, but actually the job turned out to be Y. All of these are just symptoms of you've been ignoring your inner voice. You've been ignoring a certain truth that you have always known about your career, what works, what doesn't work. And now, because the universe is very passionate about everyone needing to work in their soul's purpose, at least that's the way I look at the world, I think the universe will try its absolute best to make sure we are re-steered back onto our grand path. So it keeps throwing these Tower moments at us that no, this is not your path, I'm going to crush it. So I know this is controversial, but take it, chew on it, otherwise, you know, chuck this philosophy. The universe is telling you something. It intentionally crashed whatever was not working for you because it needs you to get moving on the Hierophant and the Ace of Swords. Let's see. The karmic scales are being balanced. Justice is coming in, and this is not justice in the 3D kind of sense. This is justice in a very spiritual, in a very destiny kind of sense, that destiny has taken over and said, you know what, I need you to hold on to this medal. I need you to stand up in your own truth. I need you to not work in areas, not work in companies, not work with people that take away from you. I need you to start thinking about this Three of Pentacles. And look at that. You're going to be able to close out this chapter of feeling burdened, feeling like you just don't belong, like you're so uncomfortable in your skin when it comes to work, and a brand new chapter of a whole new belief system and Ace of Swords is showing up. Victory is coming in. The question we asked the tarot was, what can we focus on? Take some time, think about what has come crashing down in your work life. Understand this feeling of the Four of Cups. Were you actually enjoying what you were doing, Scorpio? You don't need to tell a single soul. You don't even have to write it down, Scorpio. Just think in your own head. Hand on heart, did you really feel like the path that you were walking on, career-wise, was your chosen path? Like if money, society, fear were not a factor, would you still be walking that path? I want you to ask yourself that question, because I have a feeling that the answer is no. If money was not a factor, fear, people's expectations was not a factor, I think you know what your path is. I have this intuitive hit right now that the people who are watching and who are still watching at about 30 minutes past, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know that you have not been true to yourself. You have been self-sabotaging your own success because you've been trying to walk somebody else's path. It's not your path, Scorpio. I'm going to go to the destiny itself then with the Sacred Destiny Oracle. Let's see what it has to say to us. What chapter is opening up in Scorpio's work life, provided we do the introspection and examine our beliefs? What path is opening up for Scorpio? Stand still. Let's get one more. Action. So a path of, firstly, what have I been saying? Stand still, examine your belief system, and then boom comes the action with the Ace of Swords. I bet you it's going to feel like a bolt of lightning. You're suddenly going to get it. You're like, oh, I get it now. That's why, universe, you had to make this tower come crashing down for me to take action in the right direction. Let's get you some more messages from the Shamanic Oracle. New beginnings. Okay, you really can't make this up. I'm shuffling live on camera with you. New beginnings are here. That chapter had to end, Scorpio. It had honestly, I think, outlived its purpose. It wasn't giving you much. Creativity. It's time for your inner soul to shine. It's time for your inner creativity to find an expression. And we've got teaching at the bottom of the deck. Maybe some of you have always wanted to teach about a certain topic, or by choosing a different way of leading your own life, you'll be the change you want to see in the world, and you can teach other people about this whole transformation process. The age-old wisdom of the universe, through these trees that have very deep roots. Go back to your source, Scorpio. Go back to what grounds you, to this earth, to the higher consciousness. What grounds you? What is calling out to your soul? This is beautiful. Honestly, I think you're very close, Scorpio. You're going to get reoriented. You're going to get very clear with yourself. We're going to go into the Sacred Creator's Oracle here. What does Scorpio need to see? Step ahead. One step ahead is all you need, Scorpio. Oh my God, I love that for us. I love that. One step is all that the universe needs from you. You've been sitting on this for so long, Scorpio. Show the universe just one step, that one step, and the universe will come back in like truckloads of abundance, of victory, of successes with the Ace of Swords. Ace, like I said, beginnings. Start at the Ace, you'll get to your Ten of Pentacles, you'll get to your victory. At the bottom of the deck, we've got gratitude again. Say thank you for everything that this difficult chapter has taught you when it comes to your career. Yes, it helped you see life from a different lens, from a different perspective, but it's time to put on your own unique, authentic lens back on. And the universe will always have your back. You're a super attractor, Scorpio. You can attract whatever is of the highest, greatest good for you. Let's get you one message on attracting abundance into your life. When I merge my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control. Oh my God, I love how this is connected to this action card. It's connected to destiny that I've been talking about. It's connected to spirituality with the Hierophant. Faith. What do you believe in, Scorpio? Trust the universe. It's got your back. Something amazing is opening up for you, Scorpio. I'm going to get you a few spark some adventures messages. So let's spark, okay? One or two want to fall out. So it says, wander through unfamiliar terrain. Oh my God, Scorpio, like how appropriate is that for this spread? Try an activity you've never tried before. Leave a gift, a note, a book in a public place for the next visitor to find. Ooh, I like this one. I really like this one. So get outside of your comfort zone, Scorpio. Like, try something new. Start to work with this energy of the universe. Like, walk this unfamiliar terrain and victory is going to be yours. Wow, what a beautiful read, Scorpio. I've really enjoyed going through this reading with you. I resonate 100% with this reading. As a Scorpio sun myself, I would love to hear from you in the comments section. And if this video resonated with you or you found it insightful, even if it was just one or two messages that are going to stay with you, I'd love to know that. Please hit that like button for me. And please subscribe to my channel. It helps me grow the channel. It helps me continue to do what I'm doing here. And it helps me spread higher consciousness to all of us. Thank you so much for watching, Scorpio. Take care. Bye-bye.